Welcome to Tech Savvy. My name is Lee Newman and I'm the Executive Director of Campus Operations here in LaGrange for West Georgia Technical College. And we are in the process of providing all kinds of good, exciting news at on our Tech Savvy episodes. And we're starting with a focus on industry and their perspective and their requirements and their needs for the future workforce. We've got a workforce now, but we really need to prepare them for what's next. And so I'm very honored to have Randy Jackson here today. He is the Chief Administrative Officer for Kia. And Randy, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here today.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me over. Thank you.
You are the reason we're all in it, or one of the reasons. You're a big reason.
Well, we got a great team, so we've had a good team from the beginning.
And you understand the needs of having a skilled workforce and employees that really add value to your company. Tell me what your thoughts are on that.
Well, let me first just start with our current team. I think that I'd like to say we've got a great team. If you look at our results, I mean, we've really just hit many, many home runs. We've set records. You know, we got a lot of textile people that were out of work, and we trained them how to build cars. But if you start looking at our future, and the way I look at it is if you look at kindergartners, that's 15 years from now is when they're going to enter the workplace. Sixth grade, for example, would be 10 years entering the workplace. And then if you look at, you know, like 10, 11, and 12th graders today, they're going to be entering the workplace in anywhere from 1 to 5 years. And is that workforce ready? And a lot of times we kind of scratch our heads a little bit and say, I'm not so sure. And I believe, you know, the way I would define it is we go back to the soft skills and what's needed as you enter business or you enter manufacturing or some type of work environment. And when I talk about soft skills, I'm talking about self-responsibility. I'm talking about people that know how to work in teams, know how to understand continuous improvement. They love change. They know how to build trust. They have harmony in an organization, and they kind of have that togetherness as they come into the workplace. Now, if you look at what we've been able to do, we took, since 2007, 2008, and we took textile people and trained them how to build cars. And I'm convinced that we can do the same for the future. We can teach people how to build cars. We can teach people the technical pieces of a business, but we can't really teach the soft skills. We can kind of fine-tune them, but they have to be, you know, schooled at a very young age, and they have to be brought up into that soft skill approach so that it feeds the system, and then we can bring them into the workplace. And if you have that, you have a pretty good formula. And to me, that's what's missing. I think that we have to get back into the home, we have to get back into the parenting, we have to get back into the school systems at younger ages and try to bring this soft skill approach forward, because for many, many years the generational gaps have caused it to collapse, and I think we have to rebirth it. And we're trying to lead that. We're trying to get our schools involved. We're involved in STEM, we're involved in AWIM. As you well know, we're involved in the College and Career Academy. We're involved in the West Georgia Technical College, and we're also involved in four-year schools, four-year colleges. But my theory is you got to go from kindergarten all the way to the end, and anything in between. And if we can lead, if we can be examples, if we can get our people to volunteer, but you know, we have a Kia Way philosophy and culture that we have at Kia, and I believe it's a great formula, and we sprinkle it out there all the time to businesses and to people to kind of say, hey, here's something you might want to grab and try. But it's culture in the school, it's culture in the middle grades, it's culture in the high schools, it's culture in college, it's culture in business, it's culture in manufacturing. And if you get that nailed down, you'll hit some home runs. And I think that's what it's all about.
Well, it sounds like to me that's one of your focuses when you're talking or you consider an employee to start hiring. You want somebody that has some soft skills or has the soft skills. Do you ask them to give an example when you're in the process, when you're in the hiring process? Sometimes it's, you know, you can talk about initiative, you can talk about teamwork, but sometimes it's best to say, okay, have you ever played on a team?
Well, I think the way we do our hiring is basically behavioral based and it's situational. If you look at some of the things we've tried to start in these lower grades with STEM and other things, it's very interactive, but it's really situational. You're putting kids in a situation to respond. And people learn in all different ways, but I've found that's the best way to learn. So if you can get things more interactive in the school systems instead of lecture, if you will,
Certainly.
you're going to have more participation, the behavior is going to grow, the behavior is going to mature, and then it'll eventually get to that area of soft skills that you need. I was listening to a student the other day, and you know, she made the comment that she went to school and she sat in her brown chair and it was boring, and she listened to somebody lecture to her all day long. It probably is boring, versus an interactive approach where she or he are in a classroom, or they're, you know, in a group, and they're establishing their team skills and their collaborative skills, their communication skills, and they're learning by doing, and they're growing that way. To me, that's a much better way, and that's what we really have to get to.
I would have done a whole lot better in college if I had that activity-based economics and finance and things like that. But I see that as, that's technical education's hands-on training.
Yeah.
And I love to go and look into classrooms and see these students working on things, because they're not going to forget how to do it if they see themselves doing it.
Right.
That to me is, and start early. Like the AWIM, the World in Motion, y'all start, when earliest?
We've got some as low as kindergarten.
What do they do in kindergarten?
Well, they're basically trying to get the, you know, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the math into a lower grade. A lot of times you can see these kids building things, and they're competing against each other, and they're trying to see, you know, how these cars are running up and down the runways, and their participation in the events we've had. The teachers are beginning to respond well. Now they're getting
Good.
involved. The parents are coming and getting involved. And I think the lecture days are over. I think lectures and education learning that way are for some majors. But if you look at where's the work opportunity going to be, statistically we know 70% of all the jobs in the next 10 years are going to be in some technical-based learning or some technical-based field. So we have to be honest with these youngsters as they're growing up and going to school. You don't want them to get out and to graduate into something that they can't get a job. You don't want them to get depressed, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to have student loans that they have to pay back, and they can't get what they learned. So I think you have to be honest with them and say, hey, here's the real world that you're going to be faced with when you get to that point. And we're trying to prepare you so that you can get a job and get a good job. Manufacturing, we call it advanced manufacturing. It's running very, very fast. And what I see is it's probably outpacing education 20 times. So, you know, I don't think education is going to catch up. I really don't. My theory is if we can get education to concentrate more into the soft skill areas, into the interactive areas, we can take care of the technical pieces when they're hired. We need to get them in the door. We've proven that we can teach people our business, and I think that we can continue doing that. And we'll continue to change and bring new equipment and things like that in, and be able to do that when they're hired. But, you know, an example is, you know, when people come to work for us, if they're 1 minute late to the interview, they're discounted. Well, why is that? Well, you have to be on time. You have to be on time when you're at work. Our line runs continuously. It doesn't stop. It's a self-responsibility. When you get up in the morning, you need to take control of yourself, and you need to be at work on time. My theory is if you're not 15 minutes early, you're already late. That's a mindset. It's the way you think about what's important to you when you get up in the morning, and what's important to you in your life. And that's something that you have to take control of. Safety is another one. You have to be safe when you work, and you have to take control of that. You have to take self-responsibility of learning. You have to try to learn something every day. And I would tell these students and parents, when you go to work in business and you go to work in manufacturing today, you're back in school. You're learning something every day, all the time, and it never stops. You know, I've been in it over 35 years now, and I try to learn something every day. but you have to have a mindset that steers you to do that, to steer you away from complacency. And if we can do that and get into the minds of these youngsters and pull them through the system, I think that they'll do very, very well. I think the parents will be excited, but we do have to get them on board, and we have to get our teachers on board, our superintendents on board, our administrative on board. We have to get the school board on board. Everybody has to subscribe to the same formula, and if we can ever get that across, we'll be very powerful.
You brought up parents. I have seen in my 20 years in technical education that parents are sometimes the obstacle to get the students involved in the manufacturing and the industrial area, because they think nasty, dirty, greasy, mill work, and now industry is so clean. It has to be clean because of quality issues. How are we going to change that perspective of the parents?
Well, I think parents need to go and see. I was talking to a parent not too long ago, and she had a very negative opinion of the word technical. She drew a conclusion of technical or technical school or manufacturing was dirty, oily, greasy. You know, my children would be in a situation where they're under equipment with wrenches and things like that.
Well, it's not like that at
anymore.
Kia. Oh, no.
Basically, if you go through a tour at Kia, you're going to see people standing behind, you know, computers. You're going to be standing behind electronic devices that operate robotics and things like that. You're troubleshooting through technology and through computers. You're not running around with a tool belt. And the financial reward of that is very good. So the mindset from manufacturing historically is much, much different than it is today. And I think that if parents feel like, you know, my child is going to go to school and come out, and just because they have a degree they're going to get this fantastic job, it's not going to happen in all cases.
Right.
Some will get lucky and some will get good jobs. But we have to look at all children coming out of school, all people going to college or not going to college. You know, college isn't for everybody. We have a very, in my opinion, a very low high school graduation rate of around 70%. So 30% of our youngsters are not graduating high school. They're ending up in trouble. They may be in drugs, or they may be in, you know, crime or something like that, but their lives are on the wrong track. And I think we as parents, we as business leaders, and we as a community, we as a state, however large you want to draw it, have a responsibility to try to close that gap. And I know we're trying to lead the way. I'm personally trying to lead the way. Kia is leading the way. We have others that are following us, but we have to do something about that. You know, you have to have a high school education to work for us and our suppliers. Well, I'm losing 30% before I ever get started of the availability. And to be honest with you, it's affecting our growth. It's affecting growth of other businesses. If you don't have an available workforce when you either decide to grow or you decide to locate a plant here and build, or a business to build here, you are on the wrong track.
Right.
You have to have an available workforce. You know, people can buy land and they can buy equipment and they can buy buildings.
But they can't run that equipment.
They can't buy somebody that hasn't finished high school, or they can't buy somebody that really doesn't believe in what they need to believe in or how they want to think. That has to be done within their self.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said examples. You and your company and your suppliers are setting the example because of your total, I don't know, y'all are promoting education, you're being involved in education, your experience and your support of the Think Academy is apparently, it's like internationally known now because it's so important in the process. And I commend you for that. I appreciate that. From my perspective in technical education, I see so many students that are coming in and just didn't realize what was out there. And now they're coming in and they're thinking, okay, I can do this. And so an example just begins with you being supportive and showing the way. And I really, really appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you too. You know, I said the other day, our students will become our best marketers. I'm convinced that whether it's kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, 10th grade, College and Career Academy, a student at West Georgia Technical College, once they get a taste of this new criteria we have out there, they're going to be the best salespeople. And I'm convinced that as many that we can get into it, as many as we can get them to accept it, the more ambassadors we can turn loose. And they're going to talk to their peers, they're going to talk to their peer students, they're going to talk to parents, they're going to talk to parents. Teachers are going to talk to teachers, and then it becomes to, you know, kind of grow that way. And I think that what we're trying to do is lead that to a point where we can get more people bought in. And we're waiting on some results. You know, there's people that are sitting back saying to me, hey, I'm kind of wanting to see what's going to happen. I want to see the results, and I think the results will come. I don't think you're going to see them immediately. This is a long-term approach. We didn't get into this position overnight. You know, it probably happened over a 30-year period of time. It may take you another 30 years to get there, to turn it back around. But my theory is if you don't get started, you're never going to get started.
You're right about that.
And we decided several years ago we wanted to step out and lead, and we've been trying to do that from the beginning. And we're continuing to do that, and we're continuing to step up and push people, hopefully toward where we think the right formula is. We think that we have it nailed down. We have other automotive groups watching us. We have other business groups. We have a lot of association groups that are asking us to come out and kind of tell our story, because this is a problem U.S.-wide. It's not just Georgia. It's not just Southeast. It's not just here in Troup County or this West Georgia region. And if we like to lead, you know, we think that that's great, and we have strong leaders. If we can get out there and set an example and get these kids turned around, we feel like we're making a difference.
Well, you are making a difference, and I can tell you're making a difference.
Yeah.
And I think I like the Move On When Ready program. You're
I'm
familiar with
that, yes.
Think about all these students that can be in high school and getting a college certificate or college credit for no cost whatsoever.
That's right.
I mean, that is a win-win-win situation for everybody, and we're real proud of that opportunity, and we're proud to work with Think Academy on that.
Yep.
So it's an exciting time for education, I think.
Well, I think we're on a roll. We just need to keep pushing it.
Well, Randy, we're out of town, but I sure do appreciate your time and you spending time visiting with me.
Sure,
And
appreciate you having me.
Will you come back?
Sure, be glad to.
Will you keep us in the loop on all the exciting things
I'll
that are
be
going
glad
on?
to.
And thank you also from the community, all the things that Kia does and the wonderful example that you set.
Sure, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Tech Savvy. My name is Lee Newman, and I'm Executive Director of Campus Operations at LaGrange campus of West Georgia Technical College. And we just talked to Randy Jackson, who's the Chief Administrative Officer of Kia. And now we have Corinne Hodges, who is the Head of Public Relations for Kia Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. And Kia is such a perfect example of being so involved in education, mainly because they are worried about their workforce. Of course, they want good for the community and all that, but Corinne, I want you to touch on areas more specific to how Kia is helping lead the way in education in the different levels of education, like early on, middle schools and all. I know we talked about World of Motion. Tell me about that.
Sure. And sort of working into the World in Motion program, I would back up just a little bit and tell you that Kia is excited to partner in the community to help steward this future that would be so bright for Kia and for the community. And so the World in Motion program is just one example of a way that we've partnered in the classroom. We partnered with an organization called the SAE Foundation and a program that they have called A World in Motion, which provides in the classroom hands-on curriculum kits for teachers and for students. So for example, in the kindergarten class, I know you were asking, what does a student do in kindergarten that would be STEM? Well, they're building maybe a small car and running it down a ramp, and they're measuring the distance that it travels and tracking it and making charts and graphs, and there's a literature component too. So we're excited to be able to attract maybe a non-traditional student into STEM because of that story of the wolf chasing the pig down the ramp. Now the girls are involved because there's a story. So we're engaging kids in STEM as young as kindergarten, and then hopefully keeping them so that as they track through 3rd grade and 5th grade, every single student has another opportunity for a hands-on curriculum in STEM in the classroom, and then culminating with a challenge at the end of that year, so that we're just keeping that awareness of STEM and building this sort of hands-on thread through their entire elementary school career.
Nab them early and keep them going.
That's right. And I'd also mention we're in Troup County, but we're also now in Harris County and Meriwether County.
Good.
And across the state line into Chambers County, including Lynette City Schools. So it's really exploded. And we forecast that within a 6-year period from the beginning, from when we started, which will be 2 years out from now, we hope to have impacted 74,000 students.
That is amazing. And their future workforce, too.
Exactly.
That's impressive. Very impressive. I know we hosted World of Motion last year, 2 years ago, 14 I guess it was.
In LaGrange.
In LaGrange at the West Georgia Tech, and it was just a wonderful opportunity to see students get excited about STEM, about motion, about all that. It just was so effective. And that's what we're in it for, is to be effective, right?
That's right.
All right, well, tell me, now I know that y'all are a major supporter of Think Academy. And of course, it resides at West Georgia Tech, so we feel like it's family now, so because we're all living under the same roof. So tell me, I know we're in the 2nd semester, and we've had Dr. Carlisle on a previous episode, and she's excited about the differences already been made in these students' lives. Can you give me some examples?
Well, I probably don't know about students' lives and differences there. We've met quite a few students and are just so excited to hear what they say about the unique experiences that they have in the classroom. And of course, you can walk into a classroom at any time and see students building robots and testing the different projects. They have hands-on marketing opportunities with retail, and
they sell cookies every day.
Yeah, oh, and you can smell them. In the healthcare area, where they actually get to work on,
people
and dummies and have 3D technology, and it's an awesome experience, and it's an awesome environment. And for us, it bridges from that elementary school, it bridges them into that high school where they're looking for another hands-on opportunity, and now they have it. And with the investment that's poured in from KIA and from the community, totaling now $10 million from the state plus private funds, it's really enabled them to purchase the kind of cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment in a variety of different career paths. That's right, building tech-savvy students with current technology, maybe even more current than some industry might have in the area. So providing that state-of-the-art workforce in the community keeps us on the edge.
I mean, just think the difference of learning from lectures as opposed to learning hands-on. It is, I mean, when you practice something, you remember it. I know I do, and I think the students are going to feel the same way. And we have a lot of them down at West Georgia Tech taking classes. They're taking classes at Think and with us, and I think they're getting the best of both worlds because they're learning hands-on and then they're getting college credit at the same time.
I cannot imagine passing the opportunity to do dual enrollment and getting college credit for free. That to me is amazing, and you're right in the building with Think.
And you've got small children that can take advantage of that soon.
That's right.
So mine are all too old. But Corinne, you have been great. You and Randy have been wonderful today. Can you promise me you'll come back so we
would
can
love to
talk about more exciting things that are going on? We appreciate all KIA's support and everything that they're doing to make the community better, the students better, the workforce better. And it's just great to get to work with y'all.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I hope you'll be back soon. And thank you for joining us today. We've got lots of exciting episodes ahead to see what's going on in the world of workforce and in industry and in education. So thank you for joining us.